Flipping around fried foods and firearms. Here's your look at the brand new Trick or Treat Studios, House of 1,000 Corpses, Finger Lickin', Pistol Whippin', Captain Spaulding. Captain Spaulding owns and operates the Museum of Monsters and Madmen, a gas station and roadside attraction featuring the murder ride. A self-proclaimed king of fried chicken, Spaulding's museum is a beacon in the night for weary travelers looking for a bite or to get up close and personal with some local legends. Just before we get a closer look at Captain Spaulding, one quick reminder to you, the viewing audience. I've prepared some tasty fried chicken. Don't forget to take some home with you. It tastes so damn good. No, seriously, take a whole bunch. I've made, I don't know how much chicken right now. Before we get, though, a closer look at Captain Spaulding, get back to the review here. Let's bring in the ruler. Put it right to the very top of Captain Spaulding's head. The figure, factoring in his hat, stands 6 inches in height, or 15 centimeters tall. And a big old thank you to the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios that did in fact provide the sample of Captain Spaulding that we could have a look at in this video. If you guys would like to get your hands on Finger Licking, Pistol Whippin', love that name, Captain Spaulding, I'll provide the link down below in the video description that will take you on over to Trick or Treat's website, and from there you can add this one to your cart, as well as a bunch of other devilishly delicious things they have over on their website. With that being said, let's have a look at the accessories that come included with Spaulding. Starting first, living up to at least half its name, Finger Lickin', he comes included with chicken. Painted in the top is the chicken, and it seems like there's individual pieces that you can make out. There's a few drumsticks. I see possibly even a thigh in there as well. What's your favorite chicken piece? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'm just curious. You can see the stars and stripes adorning the side of the bucket. There's a few little areas of paint mishaps, but other than that, like, the bucket looks quite nice. I like the fact that they did replicate the bucket with the stars and the stripes. Now, the bucket, unfortunately, doesn't fit into Spaulding's hands. While the other two accessories we're about to have a look at do, unfortunately, the bucket does not. I'm going to go back to this in a second. Part of the pieces of the chicken, he does come included with a drumstick. I'm not a big fan of drumsticks myself, nor am I interested in thighs, but again, let me know down below your favorite piece of chicken. He comes included with a drumstick. It's all been molded here in brown plastic, as you can see. Doesn't look like it has any additional paint work done to it, but it certainly does give me the idea, the conveyed concept, that this is in fact chicken. It does hold in his hand. In fact, we can actually grab the figure right now. So basically, he has like a flat hand right here, high five, and then he also has a gripping hand that you can either take the chicken or the next accessory that we're going to have a look at, and that just clips into his hand like that. The other accessory, alluded to already, he comes also included with a big giant, it looks like a revolver here. I like that they've simplified the look of this to kind of lend to the idea that this sort of looks like a retro style figure. And one of the things that make this such a cool retro figure is the fact it does also have a working gimmick. More on that in a second. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could easily then take the chicken out of his hand. And you really only have the one hand to choose from between the two accessories. And just put the gun into his hand like that, and it works the exact same way. I do wish, though, going back to the high five hand, that the hand was actually slightly gripped. Not to the extent where it would have been a gripping hand, but if they had just molded the finger slightly bent, I have to wonder, would that have been enough to hold actually the bucket of chicken in his hand? Because I think it would have been fun to actually hold both the bucket as well as the drumstick, or the bucket of chicken and the revolver in his other hand. As for the gimmick, we'll kind of get that out of the way first. I couldn't wait to the end of this review to start talking about it. In old fashion of like the original 80s and 90s figures, Captain Spaulding has a gimmick that works all with squeezing his legs. When you squeeze his legs together, he brings his arms up. And that's cool because it almost looks like, first of all, he's either shooting in the air or he's waving around the drumstick advertising his delicious fried chicken. Once again, just a reminder, there's a bunch of fried chicken over there on the table. But yeah, it only is done by just simply squeezing. It's not so much really this leg. It's really this leg that's doing all the work. That allows the arms to go up and down like this. And again, if you wanted to see what it looked like with the drumstick, more than happy to oblige. Just put the drumstick into his hand, and it works out the exact same way. Although flailing the arm like this, the drumstick seems more likely to fall out of his hand than the actual revolver, because it sits a little more looser in his hand, as you can see right there. The figure does technically also have posability in the arms too, so they're not just relegated to the gimmick. You can actually rotate and swivel the arms at the elbows. So there's a little bit of additional posability that way. You can kind of have it almost looking as if Captain Spaulding's got his one arm kind of laying resting against the side of his waist, and you can actually bring the other arm a little bit more closer in if you want to just have him waving his chicken a little closer to quarters. As for the head sculpt and the paintwork that they've done, happy with the presentation of Captain Spaulding here. It looks like Captain Spaulding as if Captain Spaulding was a figure that was produced in the 90s. And I can't imagine this would be something that would be popping up in toy stores. Mommy, I want to get Captain Spaulding. Oh, he seems like an interesting, funny-looking clown. What does he do? He kills people, Mommy. Probably not would be as successful of a line, I would think, back then. But yeah, certainly the paintwork that they've done to the face just alone. You can see it does replicate nicely the makeup that he has in the movie. He does have the little tiny top hat, which isn't removable. It's molded to the rest of his face. But I think the paintwork they've done to the face is really rather nicely applied. I'll just spin this around so you can see it from all the sides. And while you may think for a second that the figure doesn't have any articulation, in fact, he does also in his head, so you can rotate it back and forth. Can't do it too much just because of the fact he's got the collar on either side of his face. But yeah, it certainly does still allow for some head rotation. Coloring for the rest of his body is nicely done as well. You got majority-wise white in his top with some nice pom-poms painted in blue, as well as a bow tie. Some nice equally matching stripes to his bucket of chicken. He's got that on the sides of his sleeves. Some nice red as well as some additional alternating blue. So you got nice red, white, and blue in the middle there. Now, again, the hand is here flat, which again is unfortunate. I just kind of wish it was slightly curved so it would be able to hold the chicken, the bucket of chicken. I don't expect them certainly to have gripping hands on both the sides, but if they just land, just curved, just these fingers just a little bit, I wonder if that would have been more than enough to hold the bucket of chicken in his hand. I'm sure just squeezing, though, his waist, that chicken would have gone flying, though, across the room. Coloring is also nice down below here as well. You have the same colors of red and white. Paint is pretty good. Paint nicely applied for the most part all the way around here. And then on the other side of the leg, the only breakup of extra color that's added here is the more lighter purple. It's kind of more of a pink than purple, with now, in this case, instead of blue, some white laid out stars. There is articulation technically here as well. So if you did want to have him balancing, I suppose you could pull that off too. And if you're worrying about the figure being able to stabilize himself, don't be, because you can actually take yourself a display stand, though not included with Captain Spaulding. A display stand you can easily just attach to the bottom of the figure's feet, and then you could probably just have Captain Spaulding almost looking as if he's doing a jig or a dance. Captain Spaulding is a fun-looking figure. Now, this is part of, I'm guessing, Wave 1, because they've already advertised on the back of the packaging a Wave 2 that's also going to contain the rest of the characters from House of a Thousand Corpses. But if you certainly are a big fan of Captain Spaulding and kind of like that vintage style of action figure that had a gimmick, kind of like the old days of superpowers, this is a great figure to be picking up. Nicely colored, comes with some very kind of retro style accessories. And again, if you're a big fan of House of a Thousand Corpses and Rob Zombie's work, it's a figure you may want to be picking up and adding to your collection. Talking further, though, about those other figures advertised here on the back of the packaging, first of all, I love the vintage way that they've done the packaging, where instructions down below show you exactly how the gimmick works for Captain Spaulding. And I'm not sure if you can even see that. To the bottom far right corner, there's a 2D Flippin' Foodie, I'm not going to say that, proof of purchase, which would be actually fun if you could actually clip that out and save it and redeem it maybe for a figure that they're going to be releasing down the road. I could see maybe a mail-away figure being something that Trick or Treat Studios could really conceive of, and then just save those 2D effin' fruity proof of purchases, and you can mail away for a figure. But speaking of figures, though, advertised on the back of the packaging in yellow is the finger-licking, pistol-whipping Captain Spaulding that we had a look at. That's a bit of a mouthful. But then of Wave 2 coming in 2022, there's Showtime Baby Firefly, there's Rabbit Roasting Otis, Rippin' Axe Professor, and Driller Killer Dr. Satan, which I think is my favorite name of the ones that they chose here. 4 figures plus the one that we're getting from Captain Spaulding here. That gives us 5 figures from House of a Thousand Corpses. And actually just above that, I'm making your eyes go all over the place here on the packaging. Just above that, there's a nice little read up. I think I would have also added a little kind of cutouts You know, those dotted lines or little dashed lines that you would usually get from the older kind of cutout file cards on the back of the figures. I think I would love to see that also on the back of the packaging too. Like with Captain Spaulding, if they put like little dashed lines all around his picture as well as his file, you could have cut that out and save it along with your Tutti effing fruity proof of purchases. I just love the fact that they threw that in there. A big thank you again to the folks over at Trick or Treat Studios that did in fact provide the sample of the finger licking pistol whipping. How many more times is he going to say it? I think another 3 times. Captain Spaulding we could have a look at in this video. If you guys are interested in picking this figure up for yourself, I'll provide the link down below in the video description. If you guys are also new to this channel, you're enjoying the content you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell notifications so yes, you're getting those friendly reminders, those 411s of whenever new videos are going to be popping up. And even though we have finished things off with finger licking one more time, pistol whipping Captain Spaulding, there is going to be definitely more Trick or Treat Studios reviews coming your way. Make sure as well you're checking at the end of this video because you may also find yourself seeing a playlist popping up of other Trick or Treat Studio reviews that I've done. If you guys wanted to see some of my earlier videos for them. Again, lots of stuff coming your way, guys. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.